Chapter 2. On this restful weekend day, Fly gently opened her sleepy eyes from her nap. She was doing something that she loved the most, hanging around with Mom and the other family members, listening to them as they got on with their morning. The family sometimes called Fly the Grey, a name the 7-year-old dog would always respond to. Fly had come to adore them. Who would blame her? Her family was made up of 4 kind, friendly, fun-loving people. Fly would miss them whenever they were away, like the time the family left her home alone one Saturday in January for a ski trip to the mountains. Mom walked Fly to the basement and gave her a cushy mat to rest on, by the warm wood stove. Several hours later, the family came home from the ski trip and found that Fly had ventured upstairs to the second-floor staircase. Fly had reached inside a straw basket, where Mom puts the family's winter hats and mittens. Poking in with her long nose, Fly opened her mouth and took an item belonging to each of the family. Fly took 4 items in all. There was something from Mom and something from Dad. And Fly had also taken Emily's glove and her brother Danny's stocking cap. She returned to her mat with her treasures and waited for the family to return home. On this particular Saturday, Emily was sitting in front of her computer, emailing her best friend Allie. "Do you want to go downtown with some money and walk to the store?" Allie emailed back, "Yes, to get some awesome cool stuff like squishy things." Emily was the one who suggested Fly for the Greyhound's name. It was the same name she gave to a stuffed, red velvet beanbag toy that resembled a flying squirrel. The toy was later lost, however, during a summer camping trip. Mom and Emily thought of other names for their Grey, like Brooke or Millie. But the name Fly suited their gentle friend best, they thought. Danny was in his room, studying and practicing guitar chords. Danny was always the first person home in the afternoons after school. Fly was always so excited to see him. She jumped up and down when he came through the door off the bus, on schedule, at around 10 minutes to 3. Fly would open her mouth wide, looking like she was smiling. She would jump up in the air on her 2 hind legs. Danny would scratch her back and play toss with Fly's fuzzy and colorful toys while saying, "Wanna play?" He would ask his pal, "Are you itchy?" Fly would smile and turn so her friend could give the Greyhound a scratch on her back, just below her head where the Greyhound could not reach on her own. As for Mom and Dad, they were busy with their regular Saturday morning tasks. Mom would be folding laundry and Dad was in the family room busy watching the television. Mom also helped Dad with the accounting for his business. As she folded, she called out to him, "Did you look at the mail from this week? There are some things I think you should read, and I left some checks for you to sign." Dad replied, "Not yet, but I will take a look after supper, tonight." Fly was still a little nervous around Dad. She had come to fear men over the years when she was a racer. But she was growing to love him, running up to Dad when he came home through the door. The two would give each other a special look, kind of like they had their own understanding. Sometimes, when no one was looking, Mom caught Dad talking softly to Fly as he scratched her neck. Fly knew that Dad would never be mean to her. Dad did not particularly like pets. But he seemed to admire Fly, based on her history as a racer. One day, while the family was riding in the car, Dad asked, "Did you know that Greyhound images appeared on the walls of Egyptian burial tombs? And that farmers had greyhounds on hand to keep rabbits from destroying their crops?" Greyhounds are said to be the oldest purebred dog dating back to the pharaohs. The first records of these dogs appear about 8,000 years ago. Here is another fact. Greyhounds are just about the fastest dogs in the world with a top speed of about 40+ miles an hour. Dad liked that fact about the Greyhound, being a hunter himself. Fly had the best of both worlds. Not only did she enjoy great-tasting fresh dog food, but she also got to have leftovers like hamburgers, hot dogs, and meatballs. She also got to lick whipped cream from the electric mixer beaters. She also helped with the dishes. If there was a tough-to-clean pan from a baked dinner dish, Mom would put it on the floor for Fly to use her teeth and tongue. Fly was better than a steel wool pad, because when Mom took the dish back to the sink, she would just have to use soap and a sponge to finish the job. Fly's hard work gave Mom's arm a break from scrubbing.